Let's talk about integration, lesson 2, where we are going to look at indefinite integrals. So under integration, I said we are going to look at 4 subtopics, which are the principles of integration, for which we have looked at it in my previous video, lesson 1. And in this video, we are going to look at indefinite integrals, and thereafter in other preceding videos, we are going to look at definite integrals and methods of integrations. So in indefinite integrals, these are integrals which are denoted by an elongated s, shown as this, without limits, without the upper and the lower limit. So those are indefinite integrals. Okay, so we also discussed about the principles, basic principles of integration. So where we looked at these basic principles, which are the first one, which says if you have x to the power n, then you simply add 1 to the power and divide by the sum of n plus 1. So these are very important basic principles, and you must know them by heart. So just to go through this table here so that you know all these basic principles. So we have these simplified ones where we do not have the constant k, as in this case we have the constant k there, but in these ones now we do not have a constant k, we only have a variable x. So for a sine function, its antiderivative is a negative cos x plus c, and for cos x is simply sine x plus c, and for sec squared of x is simply tan x plus c. Those are the antiderivatives of these trigonometric functions. So let's have an example. We see how we can utilize these principles in problems. So we have an example here which says evaluate the following. The first one is the integral of negative 2 cos t dt, and then the second one is the integral of 7 sine theta over 3 d theta, and the third one is negative 3 cosec squared of x, and the fourth one is simply cosec theta cot theta over 2, and the fifth one, which is the last one, says the integral of 4 sec x squared, sec x times x minus 2 sec squared of x. So let's start by evaluating the first one. So to solve this one, we also need to know these principles, which are linearity rules of integration, which says if you have a constant, like the constant multiple rule, which says if you have a constant and a function, what you do, you simply integrate the function and leave out the constant plus c. So we are going to apply that to this function here. So to integrate that, we are going to say we leave out the constant, which is negative 2, and integrate cos t, like that. So the antiderivative of cos is simply, the antiderivative of cos is sine x. So what we are going to have is that we are going to have negative 2, then the antiderivative of cos is simply sine t, and then plus c. So this will be the solution for that question there. So the integration of negative 2 cos t here is simply negative 2 sine t plus c. So let's move on to the second question, which says integrate or evaluate the integral of 7 sine theta over 3 d theta. So for this one as well, what we should know is that we need to apply those first principles, the basic principles, and these principles, the constant, since we have a constant which is 7 there. So applying those two rules, we are going to say, since this is a constant, we are going to have it in front here, which is 7. Then from there, we are going to integrate the function, the sine function. And remember, we have theta over 3, which can be written as 1 over 3 multiplied by that theta there. So in this case, we have k, which is another constant there. So in my previous video, we said if you have a constant here, what you do, you divide 1 by that constant. So we're going to divide 1 by 1 over 3, and then you find the antiderivative of sine. So the antiderivative of sine is negative cos x, negative cos x. So the antiderivative of sine is simply negative cos, okay, so negative cos of theta over 3 there. So plus c, you add c to that function. Then from there, to move forward, we are going to say we have our 7, which is our constant there. Then we have this one, which is 1 over 3. 1 divided by 1 over 3 is simply 3. So 3 multiplied by negative cos theta over 3, it will be negative 3 there. Then plus c. So to multiply 7 by this, we are going to have 21, negative 21, then cos theta over 3 plus c. So that's how to solve this question there. The answer is simply negative 21 cos theta over 3 plus c. So let's move on to question number 3. So question number 3 says, evaluate the integral of negative 3 cosec squared x dx. So for question number 3, we have a constant which is negative 3 there. So to use this rule here, which says if we have a constant k, then just integrate the function and multiply it with that constant and add a c there. So what we are going to do, we are going to move out the constant, which is negative 3 outside, and the antiderivative of cosec squared of x is simply negative cot x plus c there. So it's very important to know these principles. Once you know the principles, then you just need to choose. You just pick according to the question which you have been asked. So for cosec squared of x is simply negative cot x squared. So you are going to put where there was cosec squared of x, its antiderivative is simply negative cot x. Then you add a c there. So negative 3 multiplied by negative cot, we are going to have a positive 3 cot x, then plus c. So that is the solution to that question there. So this is the antiderivative of that indefinite integral. So thank you very much for watching. Try to solve this indefinite integral here and let me see your answer in the comment section below. So remember, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave out your comment.